Hello and welcome back to the RxCraft server. I am Amaros and we are at our Spleef Arena or Coliseum or whatever we want to call it. I'm thinking Spleef Arena will work. You can see Turcaniel down there photobombing our intro, but we have some redstoning to do today. I have spent quite a few days now kind of planning out and laying out the redstone to rebuild our Spleef Arena floor automatically with the flip of a lever, as well as some buttons to control start and stop of the games. And it gets a little messy. It's going to be a little complex. I'll probably even do a tutorial on how to build it, but we're going to go ahead and build most of it here in our world. The smooth stone generators are slightly unreliable when they run at high speed, and so I actually will slow them down for the tutorial so that they're 100% non-breaking. However, for our world, since we do have mods, we're going to use autonomous activators to plop down the smooth stone and just a piston to push it out. That way we get nice, smooth, clean performance without all the lag. Although the tutorial I have will make it very easy, very lag free. It doesn't seem to induce a whole lot of delay when it runs. If we had a larger arena, it probably would, but let's go ahead and get down there and get working on that. And let me show you how this is going to work. Basically, we're going to have 4 blocks, one in each corner, with a light next to it. So when a team or a player hits their little button, it'll illuminate like so, saying that they are ready. And we have a block up here so that people can see that they are ready as well. We got a good visual to the far side here to see those players are ready. Not so good for the side here, but we'll be a little forward so we can kind of tell. But once everyone has clicked in as being ready, then they'll automatically play a little bit of a note, and then they'll drop to the arena floor to begin. Now, since we are on kind of a low population private server, we're going to have a little disable switch here in each corner that will automatically basically act like it's always on and ready. That way we can still have everyone automatically drop at the same time without having to change up anything. So let's go ahead and get working on that redstone. Now we have our little corners all built here. We have our lamps behind that block above and to the back, but we have a button on the wall right behind this one here that feeds into a little bit of redstone, which illuminates this wool block here, which will turn off this torch, which will turn on this torch, and it'll light up this redstone and send this past there and into the lights, and this will stay locked on. And the other ones will work the same way. Once all 4 stations are locked in the on position, we'll take the feed from all of those and feed it into an AND gate, which I think will be the next thing that we build. And then we'll worry about the next stage, which is dropping us from the pistons. Alright, we have finished up stage 1, which we're using these green blocks for. These orange blocks are actually our stage 4 or reset. So these just repeat the signal all the way down along here and go to our little AND gate we got here. So once all 4 parts have chimed in, you can see I've already triggered a couple here, so you can see shuts these off. Once these are off, it will depower this redstone line, which will power this redstone torch, and that will actually trigger off our note block sequence and return a signal back to drop us from our pistons. Now I'm going to use brown for that portion of the stage. You can see right now we have our RS NOR latch, which has our piston extended. I did notice that I had these pistons forward one, and they should have been back out here, so I moved it. So we have our RS NOR latch, stays powered until we get our signal, which I'll have come right up here and feed into our reset switch, which will turn off our light and reset our RS NOR. We'll change our RS NOR latch here to retract the piston, shut off the light, and allow us to drop. So let me go ahead and get that laid out, get our note blocks in, and we'll be right back. We have our next bit done now. We have our 4-tick repeater, so max ticks, set to go off when our torch flips. Once all of these buttons are pressed, that will send pulse into this block. Down along this line here, we have our 4 note blocks, so it'll play a tone. That will then travel down here, run along here, flip our RS NOR latch, which will illuminate this side. This torch will stay on. Here, let me show you. It'll look like that. Now, I used these, I saw these first on the ZipCrowd server. They used them for instant transmission of redstone over a long distance. And these pistons will actually not have a delay like repeaters. So it's a great way to drop everyone at the exact same time. So a total of 3 of them get all the way back to here. Triggers this block, which flips our 2 RS NOR latches. It resets this one. The light turns off, but this one, it actually retracts the piston by turning that torch off. And we have this mirrored on the other side. I did change the color blocks here because this was not the reset technically. This one does reset this RS NOR latch, but this one will reset here. So now that we have all of that taken care of, oh, comes up and over here to travel up that way. So now that we have that portion taken care of, we need to handle our reset after everything is done, and it'll also be used to trigger our smooth stone generation. In this case, our autonomous activators throw smooth stone here, and pistons to pulse to push it out. So let me go ahead and lay out that bit as well, and we will see how it all works together. That should do it. We have all of the redstone added. This block is right under a lever above us. We'll activate, send redstone down each side here with precisely placed repeaters. It'll reset this RS NOR latch and allow the piston to extend once again. This one will reset back here. We have this mirrored on each side. Now I had to kind of adjust this path here, brought it down one step so that we could bring this across without interfering with anything above it. We brought a signal down here to reset this RS NOR latch, since this side becomes active when the note blocks play and come along it here. So we needed a way to turn this back on. So that'll reset, and we brought another signal off of here to feed down and extend this piston to allow our clock to continue pulsing around in a circle, because that's all it does, is just sends the redstone signal around the entire arena and comes back here, basically doing a one pulse for these pistons. And that one pulse comes from here. We have a sticky piston under here to make it a one tick pulse, so that these will just quickly fire. And this whole trip takes maybe a second, which is a little faster than normal stone, well, smooth stone generators normally operate without getting stuck. But here, let's go ahead and rebuild the floor here so you can see how it works. As you can see, not a whole lot of lag. It is freezing my screen just a slight bit, but pretty quick and easy, mostly painless. It's actually still running down there, you just can't hear it too well because no stone's actually coming and the pistons aren't actually firing anymore, but we still have that pulse running around. So if we were to say mine the floor, you'd see, there we go. So there we have it. The floor is currently rebuilding. We have all the redstone in place, and I think it is about time we actually try this out with a match. We don't have any beacons nearby, unfortunately. I might have to sort... Okay, so I might have to sort that out first. Wonder where I can get one from. Could steal one from my base. We do have some wither skeleton skulls that I acquired, since we do have to kind of travel through a nether fortress to get to our portal here. How about if we kill a few withers first? Which reminds me, there's another redstone project we want to do. One sec. Well, if you guessed that we were going to our favorite spot in the nether, you would be correct. We need to adjust our little wither killing station here just slightly. What I am going to do, just going to put some redstone torches under the arms here to basically cause the soul sand to become empowered, well, redstone, and it's going to trigger a piston to shoot a redstone block off in this direction and also in that direction, which is going to control an AND gate, which is going to feed our redstone down here and cause our piston that's below this guy to push up. But the difference is it's going to be an inverted signal, so maybe a not AND gate. So basically the piston will shoot up when this guy no longer is a solid block here and here, which means he transformed. Aha. So I think we're going to need a reset switch as well. But let's go ahead and figure out the redstone for it, and we'll make the determination here in a second. Let me get building. Okay, completely different plan. I went ahead and missed something. Went ahead and built us a nice little room here with what materials I had on hand, which wasn't much, but I think it works pretty well for a preliminary idea of what I'm thinking of. Might move this down a little bit, make this 3 tall, push it back a little, bring some columns in here. But yeah, need to cut back on the lava brick stuff going on there. Just a little too much of it, just slightly. Probably put some netherrack fence or a nether brick fence right here and here just to kind of give the corners a little bit more. But the main feature is this. It's a little bit of redstone, and that's my oh crap it didn't work lever. But let's see how it goes. There. Ha. You notice the piston went up because that right there is a bud. I just kind of went the simple route. Oh, you blew it up too. Alright. Blew it up. New plan. What to do? Alright, it is ready for round 2. So, let's get this set up here. It should retract. There we go. 1, 2, and let's hope. 3. Haha. Let's see how much of the decor he blows up this time. As you can tell, I went back to my original thought. Come on. Feeling a little... almost there. Ah. Alright. So... go ahead and repair this wall a little bit now that we don't need to look through there anymore. Okay. Don't need the oh crap button. That's good. Alright. So, as you can see, we kind of went back to our original plan here, having the torches and the pistons idea. I thought I would be sneaky and put a block update detector right here for when we place that last skull. It would have a 8-tick delay for the piston to pop up. But as you saw, the piston got destroyed. Must have been within that too close range. So we had to go back to our original plan. Let me go show you the redstone to this. It's a lot more complicated. So we have all of this. What, you really thought I'd be that mean? Here, let me show you the actual redstone. So the actual redstone is very simple. We just have a little redstone block that pops out once the torch activates the piston through the soul sand. It runs over to our little AND gate. The other one comes from here, which illuminates this and turns that torch off, which disables this, which retracts the piston so that we can lay down the bottom bit of the soul sand. We have a block update detector right here that's currently on. It'll deactivate once this extends, allowing this to pop back here when our wither turns into a wither, which will activate this once again because this one will no longer be powered and thus will retract as well, which will pop our piston up after a 4-tick delay. That's it. Very simple. Block update detector, which may or may not be necessary, and just 2 pistons. Very simple. I do thank ZipCrowd server for kind of pointing this idea out. They use something similar, but they extend the back wall and have some extra redstone in there that we don't have. But let's go ahead and kill some more withers. Oh, and yeah, block update detector. Nope, not necessary. And there we have it. Now that we got that out of the way, I think there's a few things we can do to improve this room. One thing I've been kind of going back and forth with is moving these up one little block here so we have a nice clean step. I don't know, it seemed to be just missing something with those corners, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And we did talk about putting that here. Not sure if having a wood thing necessarily works, so I brought iron bars to play with as well. Let's just swap these out. Could have brought an axe too. Go. My texture pack's gonna play around with that a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's actually gonna work, I think. Now the walls kind of need a little bit of a redesign. I was thinking the band might work, but we do have too much of this black and lava stuff. I don't know, I do kind of like it, but I'd like to see if something else might make it look a little, I don't know, better. I don't know, it's hard to get better than lava, but let's see if putting like that. I make it taller. It's me tempted to knock these out too. See how that pans out. Here. Ran out of bars. We need some kind of accent in the back here. What should we put back here? I don't really have anything. Let's see what this looks like. You know what? I think that's a good way to hide all the excess lava brick that we got. I think that might work. This is a little bit more but less. It at least carries this theme through, so let me go ahead and get some more nether brick and maybe finish that up. Alright, we have made our changes. Aha! Kind of looks like a gel cell, but got some lava out here. This nice little Tyrian black background behind the bars. I think that reduces the amount of lava brick that we have, but it still maintains a decent amount because it does look pretty nice. Maybe not when it's so much, but I think this is a little more toned down, a little nicer. Got our floor all finished. Little storage chest and a crafting table just in case. Took a few of the pumpkins out of the ceiling since we have our lava to illuminate our room now. We still have... Oh, I took that one out too. So it's going to be a little dark back here, but oh well. We like to kill withers. That's all that matters. So this room will be great for that. As you notice, there is no exit because we can just kind of hop around like so. And we could make a nice little door, but I mean, we don't walk that much anymore. It's just a lot easier to zip around with these things, at least for the most part. And poof. So let's go ahead and grab our beacons and set up some new beacons at our theme park over by the Coliseum. And we're off to a great start. We have Enderman 1 and Enderman 2. Oh, I looked at him. No. Let's see who wins. Haha. Probably nobody. But me. Haha. Oh, where'd you go? Will you win? Where did he go? What do you think? He's under us? I think he's under us. Aha! Yep, there he is. Oh, now where did he go? Now he's above us. Come, eat your doom. Where'd he go? Bitch, he's in the hallway. Well, he's got a friend out there. Sounds peaceful again. Nope. Not peaceful. Not peaceful. Nice thing about the Ender is once you've tapped him, he'll no longer teleport. Come on. Come on. Stop moving. There we go. And we win. Alright, silliness aside, we now need to place our beacon. And I'm thinking right here would be a good spot to put on the edge of our circle of beacon. It goes 50 blocks. I'm not sure if that takes the whole chunk or not. I know Zoom Avoid did a video about it. I'll have to go watch it again. But that would put the radius right about here based on my calculations, which are probably flawed. But either way, we're going to put our stuff right here, but down a long ways. And that should cover our arena area and allow us to have kind of a gardens area out here with kind of spotlights right up centered on our Coliseum. Plus it'll provide the bonuses out to the rest of our little theme park here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this dug out and we'll be right back. Alright, we have our beacon room dug out. Let's go ahead and throw a few of these up here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get out. There we go. Alright. So we're going to want, what, haste. Let's stick one of these in here. Haste. Come on, you can't tell me that's not clear skies. Alright, I was just missing one skin here, so I built it up. Now we got our complete 4-tier pyramid. So let's go ahead and do haste, regen. Let's see, this one, let's do jump boost. This one, speed, that. Let's see. Go. We got speed, haste, jump, regen, and strength. I think would be a good one. All right. Strength, speed, jump. I think regen will probably suit us better. There we go. All right. Now I'm gonna have to be careful mining. Oh no. Just demolish blocks. And we probably need to clean this up a little. Make it look a little neater. There we go. Alright. Now to pillar up with some glass, and we'll be good. Let's see. Too much. Alright, we will be right back once I make it to the top. We are just getting back from the Enderman farm. I have created several pickaxes for our competition arena. And we're going to stick some chests in each of our contestant corners. Stick them there. See, there, away, and here. Now we need some place for our axes. I can stick them centered on this side. So for now, so these are efficiency 5 and breaking 3. They're empowered, so they'll get some additional efficiency from that. These chests here are so we can just drain our inventory of gear and pickaxes and such, so we can have a pretty fair fight. Let's test the waters here. Oh yeah. Yeah, that'll be nice. Go ahead and reset that. Apparently it is broken. Let's see what's wrong. Not sure why that didn't work before. We did change up our redstone just slightly though. Our thing that used to come down into this block is now coming straight across with a repeater into here so that it can send a signal down the proper distance each side. And this is to reset here and the pistons here. So it's just a final reset, make sure everything is back to normal. couldn't have it here because it would depower this torch rather than illuminate that area that we needed, and it didn't have enough signal strength to actually trigger this piston here. So looks like that's working well. I see. No, that should be fine. Alright, we'll have to play with it. Alright, 2 more corrections. This needed to be a 2-tick repeater that's fed off of here, and this is 1 tick, because this will depower first, and then this one will depower, which will turn off this torch and allow this redstone to depower, which it wasn't before. And then this needed to be set to 3 ticks, or 4 ticks actually, on here and this side, so that the reset right here to extend the piston again be the last bit, even after, or needs to be after, the brown here depowers. So with those changes, everything is working correctly. If you're still confused, be sure to check out the tutorial, and that should clarify everything that you need to build it in your world. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for today. We're actually a little over, so I gotta make this quick. Thank you for watching. Do hit that like button if you have liked this episode, and do subscribe so you can see our next episode, where I'll be taking on Turkanil in a one-on-one death match in our Spleef arena, and you'll get to see the arena in action. Yes, very much in action. So be sure to check in with us next time. Thank you for watching.